Alright everybody, welcome back to Beyond the Alders. We're up at the Narrows. It's currently 4:32. Nobody here, and then we got this beautiful view of the sunrise coming up. And I was just flicking around just for fun because it's still kind of dark. I wasn't sure if they're going to be picking up the lure yet or anything, but it does vibrate along the bottom a little bit. And what we got, that doesn't work very well, does it? A little hard with the sun, but there's a nice land lot to start the morning. He's actually pretty thick. There's the backpack, so he's the width of the backpack for sure. Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna get my lure all figured out here. There's a few fish surfacing. I didn't bring the fly rod. That was my mistake. So I do have 4-weight with me, but I got no bigger flies, so they're all real small midges. Yeah, so there's a couple people camping down in the corner. If you're watching this, sorry, I come in with the tunes blaring and the light bar on and didn't think anybody'd be down here camping. So anyway, yeah, we'll get in the holder, probably try and see if we can't film something with the light. We'll see what it's like. It is quite difficult. So anyway, we'll be back soon enough and get you in the holder. So unfortunately, when we got going here, there's a few more fellas that showed up, and due to some coarse language and some young viewers that I've got on the channel, we're probably just going to put a little music over this next section with a couple clips of the fish. I was getting frustrated, so I didn't get the one big trick that I did catch on film, but I do show it at the end here. Anyway, sit back and enjoy. So we're switching up tactics here. I was using jerkbait before. Right now I've got a 1/4 ounce jig on this lightweight rod. I like the lightweight rod. One, you can feel everything along the bottom. You can feel every little rock. If you're picking up small fish to like nibbling on it. But the way I work this jig is kind of work it along, and I give it little tiny pops, little tiny pop. And what happens is it kind of gets it up off, and it gets that minnow dancing a little bit. And then, you know, you'll feel your bait drag, but then all of a sudden when you feel something pull, that's typically a fish. So hook sets are free anytime you feel that little bit of pull, just like here, bang, right? I felt that draw on that lure, and set the hook and stick with it. That's the wrap at the narrows, so I'll clip in some of the clips there. I tried to get some fish on video, but due to some of the coarse language with some of the other fellas that are there, I'm gonna have to probably just roll some music over top of it. I do have a few younger nephews that that watch my videos, so, and I don't need them hearing it. So anyway, this is the fish. Maybe there we go. Say about a 2.25 pound trout, about a 1 pound landlock. It's one from this morning. So yeah, we're gonna put them in a bag and then hit the bridge on the way out, and then off to work for the day. Alrighty, everybody, welcome back. We're back at the house here. We're gonna flay up that fish and get it all cleaned up. If you are squeamish, please just skip this part. In my opinion, I know YouTube doesn't really like it, but I think this portion is very important. We've taken a fish out of the resource, and getting the most amount of meat off that fish is crucial. There's no point in wasting stuff, right? Like some states have waste of game laws or waste of fish laws where you can actually get tickets because you've left meat on there. So, and it's, in my opinion, there ain't wrong. So wasted fish is 100% just wrong. But anyway, this is how I flay a fish. So we're gonna take it off the back, scoop out the ribs, take out the bone. We're gonna do the recipe here. I got so like some mayo, maple syrup, Dijon, I think dried dill. I think I got dried dill there somewhere. That's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. Cilantro, sorry, not dill, cilantro. It's really good. So, and we're just gonna bake it in just a simple oven, and that's it. So I was gonna fire up the grill, but I'm thinking the oven might be best. So it's just gonna work out a little bit easier for me for filming. So it's pretty windy out there today. You won't hear me, and the barbecue's not the best. So anyway, let's get you over to the little fish cleaning station I got done here. So I'll show you that there quick for a second. So fish cleaning, some newspaper. What I do is I leave my fish in some ice water for about an hour and a half just to try and firm up anything. I find it pulls the flays off a lot better, so I get that landlock and that trout there. And then garbage bin ready to go for guts. And then we're gonna grab the fillet knife. I do have a bit of a special fillet knife. I got it from a fellow on the mainland. His name is Ron Post, and it's been by far one of the greatest fillet knives I've ever had. So anyway, let's get stuck into it here. Alrighty, so this knife I was just explaining is a fantastic knife. It's been incredible, absolutely nice, and the handle's beautiful on it. So yeah, but alrighty, so let's get the fish over here. All gonna do just the trout. We don't need to do the landlock. It's the exact same process. So anyway, I'm just gonna get this guy over here. Ice. Alrighty, so I kind of start on a slight angle here, knife in one hand, lift the fin straight up across the top of the like top here, right? There's lots of meat up there, a lot of people miss that. You're going to turn your knife sideways and flat across the back of the spine. Do not go through the spine. If you do, you can recover it, but it is a bit of a pain. Now, nice smooth strokes. I do press on the fillet a little bit just to keep things nice and flat and firm to the table. Through the tail. Flip it up. At this point in time, we can get this stuff out here just a little bit, just to get it out of the way. So there's smelts inside of them. We're not going to get too deep into that because of YouTube. Now I put my fillet on the other side. Now we got to come across. Tripod's in the way. So again, straight up into the top of the head here. We want to make sure we get all that meat off there. Flat across there. And just work yourself along. That spine. Straight down through the tail. And then we're just going to get rid of that. Okay. There's two fillets. Nice color on them. I put the dorsal toward me for scooping out my ribs. And again, I do put it on a bit of an angle. It's kind of just something I've developed for me doing it. So when we're doing this, you're going to come across the top of the ribs. Right, just so you start touching those pin bones. With the knife underneath, I put on top of the ribs. Quick little push, and then start turning your blade toward the upward portion. You'll see those ribs start to scoop out. Right, we're not going to try and leave too much meat on the back of the rib. Right, now belly, this is where your fishy bit is. I do trim this off. This is a trimming. Ribs out. Now, pin bones. There's a line of pin bones. If you feel with your finger where the rib was, there's a set of pin bones there. That pin bone goes back on an angle. So we know it's right here. So we're going to try and follow that. Nice and light first. We've got one rib here left. Stop the knife there from taking that pin bone. See? Perfect. Okay, so pin bone, straight back, follow it on an angle. I'm going on a slight 45, I'd say, maybe a little less than a 45. Down to the skin, don't press too hard, you want to cut through. Then the other side, find your pin bone again, start downward. And then on the angle. Get down to the meat. Down to the skin. Now what I do here is I leave the knife like on a bit of an angle and do a bit of a scoop. And you can actually take your hand and with your finger push our pin bone line out. So you can pull these with a tweezers. For some reason, I just can't do it. It's never worked for me, and I end up destroying the fillet, so it just pulls apart. So it's just like doing a walleye. Take the little pin bone out. There's not much meat that you use there. So then we'll give this a nice sit in the water again, and then we'll get do this one here after. I'm not gonna do it on film. Obviously, you just saw that one. Yeah, there's a fillet ready to go. We'll get it into the tray there, and we'll show you a little more. Gonna get it a little cleaned off. So you can do a little feel there. No pin bones are left behind. Looks good. No rib meat is left. I do leave the skin on Skin's still on, so if you wanted to scoop the skin, you can come down on the tail and kind of pinch your thumb here a little bit and scoop with the knife flat. And you can take the skin off. I personally just leave the skin on. It helps hold the meat together because this is pretty flaky. So, alright, anyway, we'll be back in a second. Alright everybody, so now we got the fillets done. This is the salmon, this is the trout. Not much of a difference, but this one, the trout, is a little bit darker. Paper towel. Pat dry your fish. This is going to make it easier to store if you're going to seal it. Right, just like that. I use a baking tray like this. It's like a commercial one, right? All I do is I put in my fish, a little bit of olive oil to start. That's it. And then I'm going to cook, what flavour do I want here? I'll cook this one here. It's a little bit smaller. No, it's about the same. That's right. I'll eat all that. Nothing wrong with that for lunch. So, okay, so we'll move this guy over here for a minute. Take this guy here. We're going to flip him actually. Here's your trout. Salt. Salt both sides of your fish when you put them in. We're going to go right across the edge like that. And then we make the marinade. Alrighty, ingredients are ready. So we got maple syrup, Dijon mustard. You can use the grainy stuff too. Miracle Whip. We got some parsley, some dill. I thought I had cilantro. I do not have cilantro. I forgot a spoon. Need a spoon. That's a fork. There's a spoon. There we go. Spoon. Okay. This guy here, while our fish is sitting, just with some salt right now. We're gonna let it sit from salt for a few minutes, and then flip them over. He's gonna sit for a few minutes on that side. Flip them over to flush side down. Okay. This guy here. I'm trying to get used to this filming and cooking thing. I'm not used to this at all. So, all right. Dollop of this. You know, I don't really measure much, so you know, I only got one fillet. By the time I mix that in, that's going to cover fine. On with that guy. Dijon. I just give her squirts inside. You know, whatever you want to feel. Best part about cooking is, you know, you want it to be a little sweeter, add a little maple syrup. You want it to be a little more tart, add a little more Dijon, right? It's totally up to you, whatever tickles your fancy. So, whoop. That's for the fish. That's for the cooker, for the chef. Alrighty. Dill. Oh Jesus, put these on here. I'll put that thing off. Where's it go? I don't know. That, sure. Parsley. I'm just gonna scrape off some of the good stuff here. Give this a little roll. That's good. In with the parsley. Cilantro is normally a little bit better, but I'm trying to use some stuff out of the grower. We've had a small mishap with it. So. And once you give it a mix, you'll be able to tell what you need or not need. spoon for the mayo. Alright, let's rinse him off quick. Touch more mayo. Okay, and just like that, good enough. So, gonna be fine. Get this stuff on here for now. Push him back just a smidget. Put the lid on the mayo. Didn't need to use that. Okay, we had this guy flipped over for a moment there. Get some of that oil on there. Now we're gonna flip him back. Look how nice and orange that is. It's actually colors come back a little bit now because we did have it soaking a little bit. So that's been salted. We don't need to add salt to this. The Dijon's got some salt, and the sweetness from the maple will be fine. I do have to add a little bit of pepper. Now I don't mix in the pepper with the sauce. I want just direct pepper contact. It's gonna mix probably on it anyway. But okay, now take a dollop, just like that. And we're just gonna roll it into the tail. We all know the tail piece is the best. So we want to make sure he's real nice and juiced up there. Okay. Just like that. We got that little spot that we cut those pin bones out. We're just gonna glaze this up like this. Okay. Done with that. There's our little bit, you know, do your basic cleanup and all that stuff. You know. Now we're gonna let this sit in the fridge for what is it now? 12:14. Yeah, so we're gonna let that sit in the fridge for I don't know, about an hour. Just let it firm up a little bit again, and then we'll pre-bake the oven to 400, and it's gonna be sitting in there for about 20 minutes, just give or take. So anyway, we'll be back when we get her in the oven. Alright folks, fish has been in for 10 minutes. We're going to slide right here and have a little look-see. Oh, it smells good. Yes, boy. She shrunk up a little bit. It's expected. But she just needs to glaze up a little bit more. Just that extra 10 minutes. And I'm probably going to leave the top off for the next 10. They're sitting there, and we'll see you in 9 minutes. Alright folks, we switched over to broil for a minute there. We're going to turn this off now. Oh, she's sizzling, my son. She's sizzling. And I had the broil estimate off on there for time. Okay. There she is. Not bad. So it's pretty flaky. You can see how it just pulls off nicely. Right? So, alright. Get the spatula out. One of these big guys is just like best kind for this. So, on the plate. And then, if you want, you take a little bit of this juice. Just dip it on there. Why not? Okay. That's all off. So this is good with some rice and things like that, right? Actually, some pasta is actually kind of nice with this, like a little Alfredo on the side. Forgot to mention, the Mrs. Angelo, she found this recipe. I can't remember where, but yeah, it's pretty deadly. So anyway, let's take a piece off here. Maybe. Yeah, that's like the best. It's just like the maple syrup is sweet, but you can just break it off. The skin kind of helps hold the flakes together. Yeah. The dill is actually really nice. Normally we put cilantro in it, but yeah, I might have to switch to dill. So anyway, I'm gonna crush the rest of this. If you guys enjoyed it, I'm gonna try and do maybe another catch and cook or something. We'll see what happens, and maybe I'll do like some whole baked trout, right? So I've got stuff like these nice little pond trout. We can bake a couple of them whole, right? So they're pretty tasty, they're pretty sweet too. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining us again here by On the Alders, and yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you again. Tight lines.